This is Jamaica Health Box. This is Randy. I have a friend here from Jamaica. She has diabetes, and we're going to have a long conversation. I'm recording this call to help my fellow Jamaican men and people out there. Try to keep it as English as possible. Now, the first thing you have to know about anything happening to you, it's really about inflammation, it's about cooking, it's about nutrients, it's about circulation. All right. Here's what our people don't do a lot of. They don't do a lot of sea moss. Okay. What
Like
they
the Irish moss, right?
Irish moss, yes. Our ancestors did not teach us. When we came from Africa, we had a cultural tradition of digging stuff out of the ground. Some places were deserts and there was lack of rain. So we continued that cultural tradition of digging. When we came to Jamaica, we didn't have to dig yams anymore or cook yams because we had avocado, even breadfruit. We didn't have to cook so much. We had fruits. So there are different tribes who used to cook and some didn't used to cook. Cooking too much is a bad thing. It destroys the body over time. Okay? Because the food, when you cook food, the body asks, what is this? And you say, this is rice. The body say, no, the enzyme in the rice is not the same. So the body sends out mucus and you're always having an allergic reaction to cooked food. And Jamaican or West Indian cooking is our problem. So now the white rice, the flour, the sugar, the condensed milk, the continual of how we eat the carbs. When a woman cook for a man in Jamaica, or a man cook for himself, big plate of rice and peas, and big plate of dumpling and yam. We eat like hogs and pigs because we're eating food, we're not eating nutrition. And when we go to the bathroom, we let out a lot of it. So we eat to pass things out. That's kind of stupid. As we learn more, we realize we've been eating like pigs and hogs, food. They didn't teach us our body is 70 plus 80% water. In the morning, we're supposed to drink, eat. The porridge we make is cornmeal, more carbs. Then we throw condensed milk into that, more sugar. And all the sugar we're using is processed. So now we're eating like ignorant people. All right, this is to show you what we did. Now we have the callaloo and the banana. We steam the callaloo and we cook the banana. The banana is supposed to be steamed, not cooked. The pumpkin is supposed to be steamed, not cooked. Steam the callaloo lightly. So we always throw coconut oil and everything and the amount of salt. So if the body is off balance with the salt, with the oil, with the oil of frying of the chicken, the organs are all shocked. They're all inflamed. You're at a dis-ease stage already. So what do we need to do? We study this and we notice that the food above ground, they don't have to cook much. Callaloo can be blended raw and drink. Cabbage can be eaten raw. Wait a minute. These are considered the fast foods. Fast food is not McDonald's. Fast food is not bread because it's processed. So we want you to eat more fast foods, pumpkin. And if you're cooking chocha, it's quick to cook. If you're steaming a fish without frying it, it's under 7 minutes to 10 to 15. Chicken is not fast food. So even when you eat chicken, it inflames the system. You get mucus. So what we're trying to do to the body is get rid of mucus from cooking less. So now, all the fried chicken we've done. So how do we eat chicken if we're going to eat meat. You have to eat it with roots, pickle, sauerkraut, ketchup without sugar. You have to eat meat with fermentation. It moves the parasites and the fungus out of the stomach. And what happens when it moves, keep things moving, because our philosophy on Jamaica Health Box is movement, magnesium, fermentation. So you have to move the meat out the system when you eat it. And some people say, don't eat meat. We say, don't eat meat without fermentation. That's why we sell the never tired roots. That's why the Rasta man them eat roots, drink roots. Even if you eat salads and everything and fruits, you still have to have fermentation to get it to move out the system. So life itself and the universe is based on movement. Movement is the most important thing for health. Let's cover that. Movement, circulation, walking is most important. That moves the intestine. Movement, when it comes to having our slippery elm coat the intestine, the colon cleanse, clean the system. That's movement. You're moving the old stuff out of your body. Movement, breathing. When you wake up in the morning, you put your hands in the air, do 50 deep breaths. You move your lungs. You move the oxygen in your system. Movement, when you take the blood purifier, it cleans the toxins out of the blood. And the toxin is coming from the fertilizer. So if you move the bad fertilizer out your system, you're keeping your system clean. Most of our homes are cleaner than our bodies. Our cars are serviced more often than our bodies. So what we find, we spend our money on external stuff, but when we tell you our starter box costs this and the supersized starter box for everybody goes on YouTube and then look for, can you mute your mic for me? Everybody goes on YouTube and they look for herbs. Can you mute your mic for me, please? Okay. So everybody goes on YouTube and they figure out what herbs is good for what. But they're not doing a complete cleaning. The complete cleaning you need for your system, for movement to occur, is blood purifier, colon cleanse, noni detox, Bizivera cleanse, and the circulation tonic. That's what the Jamaica Health Box starter box is. There's a small starter box and a big starter box. For people over 60, they normally buy that one. You bring the car in and you do a reset over time. The body's going to go through a reset to give the organs the ability to function and to heal themselves, because the body can heal itself. Okay? So first you have to clean the house. It's 40 to 50 years of toxins. So when you go online, you buy these different herbs to say, this good for this is good for this. Your knowledge is great. But our knowledge with our herbalists is 75 years of ancient tradition of mostly the indigenous Rasta men. And in Jamaica, what's special about Jamaica, the Rasta men are one of the only modern people in the West that maintain the tradition of herbal healing. So that's what makes our country special, because there's a group of people who continue tradition and they live it with the roots and everything they do. So Rasta man has been practicing fermentation, which is the healing of the nation. So with fermentation alone, in the movement of the products we have are for cleaning the system. So here you have the colon cleanse. We clean the system with the colon cleanse. Then the blood purifier. We clean the blood. Then the Bizivera cleanse, the liver, the kidney, the lymphatic system. Then now we get the noni detox for the immune system. Then the circulation for all these women with circulation problem, them have the legs that are heavy at the bottom. Everybody needs a circulation tonic. It opens up the veins, the ventricles, and the arteries. So now the body got a chance to heal. And then when we're done, we coat the body with the cold pressed coconut oil on the skin on the outside of you, so it seeps inside of you. And you put the cold pressed coconut oil, our original coconut, tablespoon in your tea, and you drink your tea in the midday, and then at night. It's good cholesterol. Check with your doctor. So now the cold pressed coconut oil is the most important thing in Jamaica because it captures the vitamin D from the sun. One of the tallest trees we have is the coconut. One of the purest water we have is the coconut. When you go to Jamaica, your goal is to drink 400 coconuts. Not water, but coconut water, because it's the purest water. So now, you get the coconut oil in your system. That's what's in the starter box, an 8-ounce version. That's why we finish up everything with the cold pressed coconut oil. So now, the energy sip that's in the builder box, as every human being, now what I'm saying is everybody has to participate in this global clean, this reset. The slippery elm now, 4 bottles of that later on. That's why people come to our site, they sign our waiting list and do exactly as we say, because we're trying to reset your system. So when you drink 4 bottles over time for a month of the slippery elm coming from Jamaica, it starts coating your intestine and it rebuilds your intestine for you. One of the most important things in your body, your colon, your intestine, because that's where the nutrients is going to come back in to your system. And you need that when you eat stuff, the nutrients goes to your body immediately. So with all the plaque on the wall of your stomach, you need the cleaning to remove the plaque so that your intestine can work again. So most of the men you see in Jamaica with the big stomach, it's a lot of plaque in the system. So we have to do a deep cleaning. So they spend a lot of money on their car, they look good in their outfit, but their insides, they don't spend money on their insides. Okay? So a lot of this I didn't know before, and we have the top herbalists in the world, best products. So after we clean you with movement, teach you how to breathe, recommend the Forks Over Knives book on Amazon for you, tell you to go buy bulgur, take the rice and bring it out to the back of the yard and dig a hole and throw it in it and plant a tree. Don't eat rice again. Take the flour, watch yourself with that flour. Use a little bit of it with even cornmeal if you have to. You could also mix it with bulgur. Or, just bulgur is the base, especially with diabetes. You want the complex bulgur. Still use your gungo. Soak your peas before you cook it. Soak to get rid of what's in it, the gas. Okay. So this rice culture is one of the biggest challenge for us. When you make your salads, use the cold pressed coconut oil. Now, avocado, pear, is above ground. Avocado is one of the most important. You mix with sardines, which is fast food. Sardine is quick to cook. Or salmon. If you have access to avocado, avocado is your new yam. Avocado must be eaten like you're eating rice in the past. Or yam. And you sprinkle stuff on it. And you eat it with sardines. You must eat a red onion every day, as much as you can. That helps with the good gut flora and get rid of the parasites. So sardine and red onion is my favorite thing. And cold pressed coconut oil. Always have a lot of cucumbers around you. When you're hungry, sprinkle a little turmeric or pepper on it. Check with your doctor if you have any issues. So now, the builder box. So what we're going to train your body to do now to get rid of the high blood pressure and the diabetes, this is not about a pill or a certain herbs. This is about your levity. getting nutrients so that the body can start functioning normally. It's not about getting a specific herbs. It's about eating the right way so the body can reset itself. It could heal itself. So we're going to give you some herbs that are the best now. So after we clean you in the starter box, you're now going to focus on the builder box to build you. The stomach has a brain. The history of the stomach, with this 40 years of history, that history goes to your head. Every time you urge for something like meat, it's the parasites and the bacteria in your stomach telling your brain that I want meat. So we have to change the mind of the stomach. So the stomach starts thinking, I want stinking toe. I want sea moss. I want spirulina. I want kelp. So we have to change what we eat so we can think differently about foods. So that's why the builder box is important. It's going to start changing your mind through your stomach. Now, the builder box has something called the aqua earth. So for diabetes and high blood pressure, what we put people on is nutrient stuff, so they stop eating much carbs and they stop cooking so much and they have the energy. And we give them stuff like stinking stone and stuff, so they don't have to, and moringa capsules, they don't have to process the sugar. They don't need sugary stuff. So the process of insulin and balancing, you're going to have so much energy, but it's not sugar-based. So now your energy with slippery elm powder or whatever. So we give you powders. And you check with the doctor if you're on medication and anything we're giving you. And now these powders in your blender. So let's talk about movement. What's the most important thing in your house? The most important thing in your house is your blender. The most important thing in your life is not your car. It's not your furniture. It's your blender. That is your first stomach. That is your first stomach. That's fast food. That's where fast food is made. Your shakes, your smoothies, you can do them quickly. Your beets. So second, important to your blender because of your lifestyle is big ice trays. You put it in a blender, put in the ice trays, get in the morning. So here you are. You got your sea moss in your blender. Then you take your real coconut milk. You take the stinking toe we have. Lucky if you get some of it. Now the stinking toe is no joke. It's like a reverse aging thing. When you start doing this builder box, people are going to look at you and says, why do you look like this? You're looking like you're young again. Start looking, because if you look at your face and it shines and it's bulgy and your neck is bulgy, your body's inflamed. I used to have a round face. My cells used to be bigger. But with the blood purifying, the clean, and the noni detox, all the stuff that I cleaned with, it gave me a second chance. So here's the stinking toe in the powder. Here's the never tired roots for the nervous system in the builder box. Here's 2 bottles of the slippery elm to coat the intestine in the builder box. Now here's the arrowroot that's going to give you the energy without too much sugar that they feed to babies. Now here's the maca that's going to help you with your hormones and give you that male strength and that female strength. Take a little bit of it. Now here's the moringa capsules in the builder box, and we have the flax seeds. And more importantly in the builder box, which is 1 teaspoon in your blender. So we're going to teach you now to make a shake. You make a shake with the builder box. So the ingredients here is turmeric, yellow dock, purple moss, chlorella, kelp, spirulina, dulse, moringa, fennel, catnip, fenugreek, bladderwrack, L-arginine, and so on. Top herbs in the aqua earth. We combine the water nutrients with the land nutrients and herbs. And a teaspoon of this a day or every other day in your shake, and monitor it and show this to your doctor if you're taking medication. So with the aqua earth that we created, we add that to the sea moss, and we add that to the stinking toe, and so forth and so on, and you blend that. If you have any reaction to this stuff, you could pull back each of them, whatever. So this thing that we created to make it simple for health, to get you back to your nutrient states, to build you so your organs, it's not seen the chicken yet. So a month of doing this, you're going to see some changes. So that's how we balance out the blood pressure. We balance out the diabetes. Then you start eating bulgur, more sardines, less cooked foods, no more fried foods, air fryer if you can. But on the weekends, you could practice the traditional Jamaican cooking. But in the weekdays, sometimes you're not supposed to cook. So diabetes is not predicated just on, sometimes is how you fast. By not cooking, the salads, the exercise you get, the breathing, the turning off the sound. And we recommend a headset that blocks out sound to keep your mind so you could rest. Especially for people with high blood pressure, you need your rest. So there's a lot of stuff out there. We have a tea called the blood pressure normalizer tea. Sometimes when people take it and they don't do the clean first, and they're busy at work and their head is going, and they don't sit down and do their breathing exercise, and they don't put on their headset and calm their nerves. It's a combination of things when it's blood pressure. But for diabetes, it's easy because you could cut out the sugar and you increase the balancing stuff. Like the sea moss is very key to introduce to your life because it's giving you 90 plus nutrients. You don't have to eat so much carbs to get the energy. So once you get your sea moss blend, you're going to have the energy to balance where you don't need the sugar much anymore. So the sea moss is a key ingredient for us to balance out everything because it's a food and it's a fast food. So most of our people are not used to it. They're used to cooking. So the challenge with our culture, both women and men, most of the time when women cook for men, they see how the men perform sexually. And if they cook and they get a result from the man, how he performs, they do the same thing. And then he notices the man's stomach start getting big, but he's still performing. So it's sweet stuff. The porridge is sweet with condensed milk. Condensed milk is the worst thing. It's processed. Everything they put in the supermarket, it's what causing us to get the C thing. It's what's causing us to get the diabetes. It's the supermarket. That's the problem. It's your refrigerator. It's you cooking too much. The body's inflamed. It's the lack of your exercise. It's the lack of your meditation. Most Christians don't meditate and do yoga. They don't even do stretching. They don't even do deep breathing because they're thinking those are pagan religion stuff. If you find a Christian doing yoga, that's a sensible Christian. This is not just about your mind. It's about your body also. You have to stretch. You have to get massages. The stress on your shoulder goes through your head. That also gives you high blood pressure. The stress on your shoulder. So you got to stretch your hands in the morning, 50 deep breaths. So wait a minute. I didn't know that I have to do 50 breaths in the morning. So you got to calm yourself down. Drink your cucumber juice. Drink your soursop tea leaf. You see? These things, you got to calm yourself down. Sometimes you got to put down the book for a week. Turn off the TV and the radio. Go walk on the beach. You got to relax. But we are multi-talented. We're multi-genius. Our head is always going. This is why we recommend to our client a special headset. You sit down, you put on the headset, relax. So if you have high blood pressure and you're not relaxing, how you think the body relax? So relaxation and rest. And the challenge with the high blood pressure is the lack of rest. Right? So most of us can't rest because we're stressed and we're building and we're going and we're moving and we're doing and we're doing and we're doing. So we have the buildup box to change the information in your stomach, change how your mind works from your stomach. So your stomach is your brain. We have to teach it how to change how we think about the living. So above ground foods, pumpkin. Do you drink a glass of pumpkin juice? Did you check your doctor for your magnesium supplements? Your magnesium, your potassium, are you taking a multivitamin? Because as we get older, with the toxins in the environment and in the States or whatever, we got to take our multivitamins, whether we like to or not. We need that extra energy to fight the extra toxins. Okay? So, did you blend your beets and put it in the fridge? Do you have 5 bottles where you're soaking your garlic drink, your ginger drink, your tuna? Is it soaking in the fridge? Are you soaking your waters? And do you drink them throughout the week? Today is beet water. So, what's in your refrigerator? You know, a lot of food and things from the supermarket. So, you have to understand that how we thought about food and our whole culture has been backwards. We've been getting energy from carbs, and we could have been getting energy from sea moss, which will give you a better balance. It won't put on weight on you. And you master how to prepare it from YouTube. And then we left the stinking toe behind. And that's for the stomach and the heart. And the pumpkin juice. The callaloo can be drunk raw too. So every time you want the organs to rebuild themselves, cabbage, you're eating the cabbage. You can blend a little bit of it and drink it. Turnip will clean the blood. So where is your light turnip soup? Do you have turnip soaking in the refrigerator to drink your turnip water? So you see, we have all the tools, but because we're working and we're making money, we use money to buy foods. And we say eating healthy is expensive. It's not. Sea moss, 2 pounds of sea moss can last you a long time. But when you drink that with the stinking toe and the real coconut milk, some of it for breakfast, and have something light. Now that coffee, watch out for that. The coffee you should watch out for because it's fake. It's fake energy. You had to add heat to make it what it is. So man had to process it. When you go to the coffee tree and just take the seed in your mouth, that right there is what God made. God didn't intend us to add heat to things and process it. The sun was supposed to take care of that. This is why the Japanese eat raw meat. Now, the people in the Eskimo, they used to eat the frozen fish. They didn't cook it. Sometimes they didn't have fire. The body adapts to anything that is close to real. So if you cook too much of the food, you kill it. So all these top chefs and all these cooks and all these cooking shows. So if you look at the insanity and see everybody cooking every day, and then everybody's getting sick all the time, and you put it together and you realize the body is inflamed. So now after we clean you at Jamaica Health Box, now we want to protect anything from happening to you. So we create the protection box. Now, the reason why I looked at this stuff holistically, we have 3 of the best herbalists in the world, but I've been traveling, speaking to gut nutritionalists from Sweden, gone to Africa, looking at what they're eating, and interviewed over 100 different, not herbalists, but ancient people in Jamaica, and I listened to them. I wasn't listening to what's good for what. I was listening to how they eat and how they live. And finding out the environment is key because the mind, the body, the breathing, you need the blood oxygenated and especially the magnesium. So the reason why a lot of Jamaicans still healthy is the pumpkin. It grows above ground. It's cheap. It is the pumpkin that's saving us and the coconut and the breadfruit. Above ground foods. The yam is complex carbs. So if you're not working out in the fields and in the construction site for the vitamin D to burn the yam, watch out for the yam and the dumpling. Flour is not fast food, it's processed. So 90% in the things in the supermarket is what's causing the sickness. So you keep it natural. Avocado, breadfruit. Now here's the cool thing about breadfruit. Breadfruit is a thing, it's quick to cook. You slice it in thin slices. Chocha is fast. So you reduce the time. Pumpkin can be raw. So you see, the rawer the food is, the better it is for you. But we're taught to cook. Eat. Celebrate taste. So our taste, now nothing is wrong with this. If you were putting a lot of fermentation in your levity every week, I could have my body cleanse after I have some curry goat. Me clean out my system and keep it moving. I don't want anything to stay in my system for more than minimum of 9 hours. If me eat it, I want it out of me. The job is to bring the nutrients into me. But I don't want a food sit down in my stomach for a week, 6 months. Because those parasites from the oxtail and all of them things there, it stays in your stomach for months, years. And they start developing a party down there because you haven't been cleaning. You didn't know about kombucha in the States. You didn't know about fermentation. You can't eat meat without eat pickle, sauerkraut. You don't know about fermentation. That's why they have a pickle in McDonald's on the burger. And that's why they use hot dogs with ketchup and with fermentation and with pickle. So other cultures that know this, other cultures are more knowledgeable because their culture is coming from the ice. They could eat meat and they know how to eat meat. They drink a lot of wine and the wine digests the meat, the steak. So our culture stopped with certain things. You never see the pastor giving out a bottle of roots. That's why some kids love ketchup on their food. Their stomach is pure and they know the stomach is telling them, I need fermentation. The ketchup, the good one, that's not corn based. So ketchup is fermented. So you see, it's not what you eat, it's how you eat it. So minimize the meat, maximize the fermentation, and much maximum respect to the CMOS, the spirulina, the stinking tour, the moringa. But give enough respect to the watercress. The watercress. Now let's go into the protection box because you want to prevent anything from happening to you in the future. So we build something called the protection box. It's like the prevention box, right? The protection prevention box is this. It has the turkey berry, which is the susumba tincture. One of the most important things in Jamaica is susumba. If you give me a piece of land, I will plant susumba tree all over it. It's the most important thing we have in Jamaica. People don't know. When you steam it lightly, and when you have it and you cut it up and you rub it in your hands and you rub it on your skin, on your face, it gets rid of the parasites. So the turkey berry tincture that we make, you take this over time. So these 4 bottles, Lasts you for 3-4 months. This is the prevention. So you know consistently you put in something in you. That's why we made the watercress. Now, the watercress is one of the most important leafy greens in the world. The watercress now gives you the cell rejuvenation, then the breadfruit extract. We put the busy Vera cleanse in the protection box and the moringa capsule in there too. So the breadfruit tincture, powerful. Watercress, powerful. So the prevention box has to be in the cupboard. So these 3 boxes on Jamaica Health Box, these are the key to simplifying your health. And when you go through the builder box and the cleaning box, you're going to start seeing the diabetes. And then you buy the book, Forks Over Knives, on Amazon. And you start cooking based on that menu system. And once you get rid of the rice and you increase the bulgur and you increase the sardine, and on our site you could see recipes and stuff. So how did I get rid of my pre-diabetes? How did I balance my energy? We're coming out with our own multivitamin that's going to help a lot of people because we study this a lot. And now we're knowing. How did my joints become stronger? I'm 49 years old, going on 50. Talk to me. What did you learn from this? Yes, what did you learn from this?
I learned a lot because you was talking about what's in your body and what you eat and what can prevent the diabetes and stuff like that.
Good. So where you want to
And
start?
I didn't know I eat avocado, you know, but not on a regular basis. I eat sardine. Mostly I like sardine. So I'll eat sardine, like wake up in the morning, a cup of coffee, and which way I didn't even know about the coffee, so the coffee is a killer. I didn't know that. Because if I don't drink a cup of coffee,
Store once a month, I indulge. Jerk chicken, everything. Twice a month, whatever. But when I do that, I drink kombucha or I use my body cleanse. The most important weapon we have is something called a body cleanse. The body cleanse have the centipede in it and it's aggressive. So if you eat some Jamaican food that is traditional Jamaican, oxtail and yam and dumpling and rice and peas, on Friday you take 2 of the body cleanse and you will go to the bathroom during the night for 3 to 4 times and it will get it out of your system. So I always have a bottle of body cleanse with me. Because when I want to cheat and enjoy a full joy life, I know I have my body cleanse. And we have other cleanse system we're coming out with. You see me? So basically, what I show you says this. Diabetes is you. And you're looking at health differently. So now, we have a blood sugar normalizer tea that could speed up the process. So while you make the diet good, you try that, and that should balance out the blood pressure. It has a special herbs in it, and the diabetes. Now talk to me. Was I helpful in this presentation to you?